and you dust yourselves off, and you reassure yourselves that he's got a little bit more colour in his cheeks. He's no longer bleeding out all over the ground.
He's no longer liable for being thrown over into the gorge.
Yeah, you can reassure yourself on that front. So you can begin to continue making your way back.
Let's go away from the gorge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this time you choose a path that's a decent distance from the gorge, and despite feeling a little battle scarred from your various encounters the previous day,
good one.
You eventually see the smoke of the village in the distance and return to familiar territory.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I did nearly accidentally kill Beat.
Yeah.
I'm not quite mean enough to throw you another random encounter.
Hey, I guess I had too much ale, so I just couldn't walk. I just kind of fell, and then bad from there.
So that's true. Out of all of us, you were the drunkest.
So are we back at the village? Like, we've come out of the forest to the village now, or are we approaching?
You're probably just outside the village walls at this point.
Oh, okay.
Should we check our progress with Albag and say we've done absolutely?
Yeah,
we just went down, and nothing happened.
Well, we could explain to him what we discovered about the coal mine and see if he's got any more advice for us.
Okay, cool. So, you recall Alvag pointing out his hut earlier, and approach and knock on the door.
Let's try not to break the door this time.
Break the door this time.
No! Don't break the door. We've broken too many doors. Too many.
Let me headbutt the door at least.
No!
Okay,
headbutt it lightly. Like, not enough to break it, just like lightly headbutt it enough to have it be a knock on the door.
Calming entrance.
Okay, so you're knocking on the door, not headbutting it.
Magic missed on
Not
the door.
headbutting it. No, we're not breaking his door.
Eldritch blast the door.
He's probably like a level 12.
Not this time.
We'll get
Magic
destroyed.
missed on the door.
Okay.
No. Guys, he's probably like level 12. We get demolished.
Quietly shaking my head because, well, realistically, what's happening right now is someone's knocked on the door and the rest of you are just bickering about how to
Okay, so the door opens a tiny crack, and you hear a voice from behind it say, "What do you want?"
We're here for Albag.
The door swings open, and you see Alvag emerge from the building. And he immediately turns to Veet.
Oh God!
And says, "What's happening?"
What's cracking?
Our journey was deadly to most people. We survived somehow, but we did find. We found. If you remember the coal mine, Alvin, we actually found like a pathway into it. It was too high up to really reach it, but we found that.
He's
really
shaking his head.
halfway.
He looks slightly bewildered. He says, "Journey? Journey? What journey? What are you talking about, Veet?"
Oh.
The journey that you told us to go on. Are you losing your mind, or is the plague getting to him? Uh-oh, is the plague getting to him?
Nah,
Wait.
nah, it's just old age, you know.
Old age.
He suggestion and looks around as though he's utterly confused by everything
Can
that's
I
happening. He says,
ask-
"Who are these people?"
I was about to say, I was going to ask him, do you know who we are?
Wait, I finally did from before.
You know, some people from the old age, you know.
Didn't we meet him already?
Veet, we've met him. I think he's forgotten us.
Oh God, we've been gone for that long.
See, my grandma had the same. This is all I know how to deal with these people.
Wait, what was the person we met? Really, Albag?
No, guys, I know what we can do. We are your grandchildren. It's our birthday. Can we have
raises
money?
his hands as though to silence your ramblings, and he says, "Please explain. Who are you and what are you doing in my village?"
We are your grandchildren. You owe us money.
Before we
No.
Can we, like, maybe, instead of trying to explain that we've met him before, can we just, like, maybe
Restart.
try and just restart? Like, explain, we're here to help the plague. We think it's in the coal mine. Can you help us?
Go on then, Torinn. Take the lead.
Oh God.
Albag, hi. I know me and you have never met, and even if we might have met, we might not get along very well, but we are here to help your town of the plague that has been corrupting it, and we believe it has something to do with an old coal mine to the north of the town. We were wondering if you could help us so that we can help you.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Last time I did this, I made a little girl scream.
What is the persuasion modifier?
My persuasion is minus 16 with the -1 added, so it's 16.
Okay. So, he looks at you and says, I thought the corruption was coming from the river.
We actually, on our journey here, me and some of my comrades, before we met up with your barman,
What are we, Russian?
we found a cave at the source of the river, and we believe that the corruption is coming from the coal mine, as the river and the mine is connected to the cave river.
I see, he says. Veek, do you vouch for these people?
Yes. Barely, but
And
yes.
Chris,
Even the crazy
you're
one.
going as well?
What?
Chris, you're also going?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Chris was not paying attention.
He looks down and he thinks for a moment and he says, if you're going into the old coal mine, you should speak to the Zhangs. They're carpenters now, but before the mine was closed, their family's trade was in propping the mine. They're probably the people who would best know the passageways.
All right, thanks.
That sounds great. Thank you very
Wait,
much.
wasn't there like Nonny Zhang or whatever, or Nanny Zhang or someone like?
Oh
an
yeah, what happened to
person?
we went into her house and I remember that. We went into that
Oh,
lady's
the person
her
whose
house,
door I
right?
had
And
murdered.
thing, right? Right?
Have we
Didn't
been
this
to
happen?
them before?
I think we have. I know
I
I
think we
headbutted someone's door, and I don't remember whose.
How can you not
Ah,
remember
that's
who did your headbutt? I would keep a list.
No, that was Bodine's house.
That was Odin's house.
Well, there's
No,
another
that's
house we went to after.
Owlbag is looking bemused again. And eventually he says, listen, I'm afraid I can't come with you. I'm needed here with my town people.
No, that's fine.
But I wish you the best, and I'm afraid I must go now.
Wait, before you go, can you tell us the direction to the Zhang's house?
Says Veet knows the way, and retreats
Veet.
back into the house.
Beat is currently mute.
What? What?
Given your immense skill at navigating us through the forest earlier, can you navigate us to the Zhang's house without getting us all killed?
Well, Millen getting himself killed.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yes. You are in Owlbag's house, which is quite close to the river, and Veet leads you up to the north of the village, past the well, towards a small house slightly set back from the square. And he knows that this is where the Zhang family lives.
Take the lead, V.
Let's go.
You know everyone.
I do? Oh. Oh yeah.
On the door.
Knock knock.
Okay.
Bang
so,
bang.
You knock on the door, and the door opens a little crack, and a small face peers out that Torinn recognizes.
Oh Christ!
Uh-oh.
That fucking girl. Hello
I
again.
could be. Yeah.
You
Do you want me?
Veet, you know that her name is Surreal.
Do you want me to take this time, Torinn?
Wait, what's her name?
I have the
Tamriel?
highest charisma so far.
Surreal.
Surreal. Hi, Surreal. Please ignore the Dragonborn nearby. Yeah, he didn't mean whatever. Don't let him. Just don't ask him to babysit next time. Okay, so we have a question for you. Okay,
She's
You're
You're
staring
gonna
at
ask the
you with
question to the child?
curiosity.
the child. Oh, wait, we need to talk to your mom. Could you get your mom, please? We need to talk to.
She
Her mum's ill.
she shakes her head and says, "Mum's sick."
Monster.
What about your father?
Yeah, is your father home?
She quietly slips back inside the house and soon returns, followed by a taller figure, who you believe to be you recognize him as Hundal, Cyril's father, Hundal.
Pretty sure when we encountered the girl last time in the town, he was the one who like brought her in, right?
Was he the one that we talked to?
Yeah, you recognize him from taking her inside the house.
He was him.
And
what was his name again? Hundal.
Hundal.
Hey, Undal. Could we come in? We just want to we have a couple. You want a little advice because we know you've been here for a while, so.
He pauses for a moment and says, "It would be better if we spoke outside. My wife is very ill." And he opens the door, ushers his daughter back inside, and closes the front door so that he's now stood outside the house with you. And he says, "What is it that I can help you with?"
The child isn't with him, right?
No,
she's gone back inside.
Okay. Yeah, so we wanted to ask you what your knowledge was. The coal mine?
He says, nobody's been in the coal mine for years. It wasn't since my grandfather's time that it was active. What is it that you want to know?
Yes, so we wanted to know if you knew anything about the coal mine and more specifically how we got into it.
He says,
what would you expect inside it?
I'm not certain what it is that takes you to the coal mine, but I would advise you not to enter. It is very dangerous. It's been boarded up for...
If we don't go into the coal mine, your wife is going to die.
And so are all of us.
And I will kill you after.
Tails. So he says to you, I don't know an awful lot, but I will tell you what I do know, and hope that it helps to keep you safe while you're down there. It's been sealed up for decades. It's only wooden boarding covering it, so a few strong strikes of an axe or a hammer should be able to break the boards through by now. They'll be rotten.
Hammer, you say?
There are a lot of chambers. Sorry?
Can we ask him about if there's any rivers or anything that run?
He's not going to respond if we interrupt him.
No, of course, ask him.
Oh, okay.
So you ask, are there any water sources? And he says, yes, they found a river some short while before it was closed. If you wish to find the river, all I know is that once you enter the mine, you turn west. It'll be on the deepest level of the mine, so keep climbing down until you reach the bottom.
Can I ask him why the mine was closed in the first place? Is there anything that, maybe like a text or something from someone who said this is why we left the mine?
As far as anybody knows, it was perfectly normal reasons. It was cave-ins. It became unstable after they discovered the river.
Oh, okay.
It became too dangerous.
I was just checking because who knows, could have abandoned it because they found a demonic portal to hell,
So he shrugs at that suggestion. He doesn't really know anything about demonic portals to hell.
That's a good thing.
But
That Saladin does.
He suggests that you pack plenty of light sources. It's very dark down there, very little natural light, and he suggests that, given the circumstances, you bring fresh water with you and don't rely on the river.
Okay. Should we bring some if we have to blow anything up? I don't know. Because you said there's been a lot of cave-ins. Finally.
Would we want to?
He strongly urges that you do not use any form of explosive in the mine.
What about a pickaxe or something like that?
I wouldn't touch any foundations.
Do it. Not recommended.
But how are we, guys? Think about it. How are we gonna get around if it's caved in? How are we gonna get?
It's not all caved in. Some parts are caved in, but apparently they well, we can assume that at least the path to the river probably hasn't been caved in. Because he literally just gave us directions to get to it once we
But he hasn't been there in a while.
No,
says
if it was Kate.
He says, I haven't been there. I only know this from the
Oh,
log diagrams in the workshop from my grandfather's time. He used to build the struts for the mines, so he knows the dimensions. And he knows some of the pathways.
Is your grandfather dead?
Yes, he's been dead for some years.
Aren't we all
I'm
dead?
sorry for your loss.
If I found the demonic portal to hell in my mind, I'd quit the job and start a holiday agency.
can someone please quote that? Please.
Put the quote in there, Eagle.
I just fell on my chair.
I almost fell out my chair.
No,
It's quiet, but when he says something good comes out of his mouth.
Right, so shall we start making our way towards the mine?
Do we want to just make sure we've got all our stuff together?
I think we should make sure we
fresh
have
water?
everything.
Like, make sure we've got fresh water. I've got like 9 torches, so I think I'll be fine for.
I have more than a torch as well as cantrips, so I should be
The only thing I'm concerned about is just water. That's all.
Yeah, I've got 10 torches.
So I've got a water skin, but I don't know if it's like got any water in it or anything.
He says, for now the well is still clean. It doesn't seem to be contaminated. There's no sign, not like the river.
And I just want
Can I
to.
fill my water skin at the well then?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
And then I just want to ask him. So, do you, by any chance? So, should we worry about, I guess, blocked paths? Like, do we need to bring anything that we'll have to go digging through anything, or do we not need to worry about that at all? Kind of, if you have any idea, because I know you've never been there. So, but like.
I like how I think while he's asking this, the rest of us should just walk away, because all of us know we shouldn't be digging in there.
He frowns and he says that if there is anywhere that has collapsed, he wouldn't advise digging in for risk to your life.
Okay.
He says, be very careful. The slightest tremor could set off another cave-in.
So no
And
eldritch
then
blasts,
I want
guys.
to leave him with a pitcher of ale for my brew, as a thank you.
He thanks you and says that he apologizes that it's been some time since he went to the Light Heart Brewery, but my wife, he says, and gestures back to the house. He says, I can't leave my daughter alone.
All right, Gucci.
Can I go up to him and say, just stay with your daughter, keep her well?
I think he's already
He
left.
nods and thanks you, and then retreats back inside the house.
No casting Thunderwave in the mine.
Basically, we've got to be very careful with spells in the mine.
Yeah.
All right, we should all go fill up our water skins, probably.
I've already done mine.
Yeah, I did mine.
We were doing it while you were asking about the whole mining thing. You know?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you've all filled up your water skins.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wish to do, or are you just going to head out?
I mean, we already went to the general store before, so
Yeah.
there's probably nothing new there. I don't think we're going to want the boat now.
Yeah.
The boat.
Imagine
I
we did a
forgot
boat
about the
before.
So, V, which way to the mine?
Well, let's head back up the river because it was somewhere along it at some point, if I recall. I don't think it was right next to the village.
It's to the north of the village.
Yeah, so
So
let's go
it's
that way.
heading north. The river is to the south of the village, heading east to
Oh.
west.
Oh God. Yeah, let's
So
go
we're going
north.
the other way.
We're going the other way.